All right, welcome everyone to my next stream on this Raycasting nonsense. I've not actually announced this for anyone to, like on Twitter or anything like that, but if anyone else wants to share it, feel free. Um, and I didn't even announce this one, Dex. This is what I want to fix today. I want to fix this, and I started writing tests for it the last time we were on. For those of you who were paying attention then, basically, anytime the wall is exactly perpendicular to the camera, I have this gap that I can walk through. And there we go. It's actually not even if the wall is perpendicular, it's if the camera is facing straight. I can't get a perfect, oh, there we go, I did here. So it's only if the camera's facing straight up or straight down. And I started writing a test for this, and I haven't found it yet, and it's really bothering me. And so I want to find it. And so I have this geometry test file, and where I last left off was this test segment intersection, and I had a perfectly vertical and a perfectly horizontal line segment, and I was checking to see if the intersection occurred where I expected it to. And this particular test is failing, but it's failing because of a magic number I have in here, basically. It's failing at one. It's failing at a very small difference. It should be basically 0, 0, but it is not exactly 0, 0. And that's because if you want to use normal like point slope format or whatever for a line, there's just simply no way to represent a vertical line at all. But I need to figure this out because it's quite the bug. Oh, are you also having fun with the project? That's cool. Um, okay, so which one is failing, first of all? Let's make sure I'm looking at the right code. So it's the... Which line is that? 204 assertion error. Okay, so the first one is failing, but it's, quote, very, very close to being correct. So I don't think that that's where my problem is. I think my problem is that it doesn't show an intersection at all on that line segment when the camera is casting a ray. And I guess I should probably do a check here to make sure that these tests actually do pass. And before we were using the PyTest. Let's get this all in full screen mode and everything. I wasn't really fully planning to do this right now. I just wanted to do it right now. I need to reconfigure some of my keyboard settings. Okay. So I was using this pytest.approx. So let's just try that right here and see if we can get something that works. Hi you, we want some video in JV. I don't know what that means. So I will just go ahead and point out that there is a PR currently on the project that actually does fix this problem, but it changes the geometry calculations to using like dot products and that kind of thing. And I really, really just want to create a test that actually shows the problem. That would be amazing. So that I know, we have an actual test to fix is the goal here. So I expect the intersection to happen at approximately xy of 0. Okay, those passed. What is this error? Duplicated code fragment, 6 lines long. Yes, it is in fact a duplicated code fragment, but for the sake of this test, I'm going to keep it that way. All right, test intersections, segment intersections. I know that my bug lies in the camera looking directly up or directly down and intersecting with any other wall. I know that's where the bug is. Now I know that the camera is, well, let's just go ahead and create a camera. So if it exists anywhere in space, so for the sake of these examples, I know that a location, something like a y of 10 with an x of 5, sometimes I despise autocomplete with editors, and a direction of say 180 degrees down. So that is pi. And viewing angle, the viewing angle, all sorts of viewing angles have been tried here, and it still results in the same issue. Oh, that's fun that you're working on one also for your love interest here. Viewing angle, I'm going to just make it 45, which is pi over 4, right? Because pi halves is 90. Yeah, okay, so I'm looking straight down with a 45-degree angle. Now I'm going to go ahead and create one of these line segments again that I know should be something that's not intersecting. Segment of something that starts at origin and goes across still saying, let's see, 20x 0 y. Now this should, I think every single, yeah, I think every single ray cast from the camera should intersect this line segment. I'm pretty sure it should. So let's just go ahead and test that. Now, there is the difference here between cylindrical and the planar projection, and this bug only comes up when we're doing the planar projection. So if I turn this, let's get over here where we'll actually see the bug exhibit. Rotate towards the line. There we go. Oh, no. Okay. The bug exhibits regardless of the projection that I'm using. Okay. If you were watching in the previous episode, I had a couple of different ways of testing planar versus cylindrical, and with correction and without. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so that's happening regardless. That's, in a way, quote, good to know. Now I'm actually generating a set of arrays here. Theoretically, what am I getting? Oh, count. How many do I want? Right. So let's just divide this thing up into, I don't know. So it's an even number of arrays always. In the code that we've been testing, because I keep having an even number of pixels. So I'm just going to do a quick test here and say what happens to all of this. I've never tried something like this before. This thing is like 801 pixels across. That sounds interesting, doesn't it? Like some sort of a madman making a yeah, I don't get it in the case that it's an odd number of rays being cast. So it's something about that middle case. All right, let's go back to our geometry test. And I'm gonna cast 10 rays, and all of them should intersect this segment. So let's see what happens. So the segment, that's the segment that I want to intersect with, and the ray, no, I need to make sure I'm doing this correctly. That's why we're building tests, right? Camera.rays, segment point. All right, so rays returns a tuple of the ray and a point in space. And then I'm calling the intersect ray function, not the intersect geometry, intersect segments, okay. Okay. Let's just start with this. Excuse me, I've got a little bit of congestion. I hit the wrong start button, obviously. Wait, I thought I hit that. Run Python test. Why is it starting the full game engine? What am I doing wrong? Too many, oh, okay, whatever. Oh, what is happening right now? Intersect ray, I'm drawing a camera, I'm creating a camera, I'm creating a segment, but neither one of those things should actually be starting the whole raycasting deal. What are you doing? Stop it. I am incredibly confused. Oh, because it's having to pull in the raycasting code, it's instantiating this file, which is bad. I need to do that like main trick thing. How does that work? People do this. Yeah, like that. Going to be executed as a script and imported into another module. That's currently what I'm doing. It's probably not my best option, but it's currently what I'm doing. So let's fix that quote fix it. So all of that starts here. All right, why am I still getting a squiggle down here? Too many blank lines. There we go, okay. All right, let's see if I can get these tests running again. I hit debug. All right. I get my first failure, but it didn't actually pop me into the debugger for me to see like where it actually happened. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay. Intersections, let's step over. Intersections, okay, that's clearly does have an intersection. So if I've got 10 rays that I'm creating and on the first one I have an intersection, then I can basically guarantee that all of them are going to intersect, right? Because I'm pointed straight down at this thing that is 20 units wide and I'm in the middle of it, x10, y5, and I'm casting 45-degree angle with 10 segments in it. So if the first one succeeds, then the next one should succeed. Okay, we are now on ray number 3. So I should expect my bug to happen on ray 5, I believe. 4 is fine. 5 is fine. 6 on ray 6. Okay, why on ray 6 of 10 did I fail to get this intersection? That's clearly the bug that we've been looking at, right? So I need to figure out why that intersecting ray did not occur and make sure I have appropriate tests to solve this in the problem. Let's just double check this ray. The ray has an angle of 3.1415926535897993. That seems awfully suspicious, like that is perhaps the ray that is pointing straight down. So that makes sense for our bug. That's pi, just for the record, and pi radians is 180 degrees. That's the one that's looking straight down. Yeah, I'm going to stop this debugger real quick and I'm going to restart the debug session. Here, I want to just double check those ray angles that we were looking at a moment ago. Point, ray, angle, yeah, okay. Yeah, and we can see the angle down here slowly increasing. And we get the failure on the one where the angle is exactly pi. Okay. So why did we get the failure here, but not the failure on these ray intersections? I have approximately the same scenario. I've got a ray pointed straight up, or ray pointed straight, or one straight up, one straight down, and the vertical and horizontal, and I'm getting the intersections that I would expect to get. So I need to construct a test that actually exploits this specific scenario. Now I should be able to just do I do a single ray intersection test, then I should be able to create an array that looks an awfully like this camera ray and with the same origin and everything. This needs to start at 10.5. And I need to have an angle of pi. And I need a segment. That is the segment, actually. And I need to test this one ray for this one intersection. That should do it, right? So this test I expect to fail. At the moment, I don't want it to fail, but I expect it to fail. Okay, good. It did fail. So now we have a reproducible test that fails in our geometry. So now I need to figure out why this thing is failing, but I love having the failing test. The failing test now gives me a problem to solve. That is perfect. This, I would say, you know, we've got a relatively small group of people here, but this should be like your number one first step. If you've got a bug, is you've got to make a test that fails, because you have no way of knowing if you fixed the bug until you have a test that fails. So let's go ahead and I'm going to commit this real quick. No. You know, I really don't like this window for editing my commit messages in. This is actually, I find this is not nice. Sorry to the JetBrains folks. It doesn't give me any kind of markdown feedback or anything that we kind of expect, because GitHub is going to interpret this as markdown. It doesn't give you any feedback about whether or not the commit original like first line commit message is too long. I'm going to stop using this feature probably. So if there's any JetBrains folk watching, that's what I have to say about it. I have to amend the last one. Oh, come on. You just overwrote my commit message. And you saved the last commit message. That makes no sense at all. If I'm making multiple commits with the same commit message, then I'm not doing something right with my... Not impressed. Yeah, I am going back to command line for this. I thought that I would use the tools because they were here in front of me, but that one I am not very happy with. Okay, let's see if we can narrow down where this intersection error is actually occurring. All right, we have exactly one ray that's being intersected. So maybe we can make another test up in the segment intersection, because it's ray to segment conversion anyhow. Let's go ahead and step into this. So yeah, all it does is call intersecting segments with the to segment from that ray. So let's jump into that. And toSegment just takes our start point and gives it a quote distant point. So the distant point in this case is going to be, yeah, here we go. Well, let's see what the distant point actually looks like. So now, did you not tell me what the return value is going to be? That's kind of weak sauce. No, 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 you jumped all the way back out. That's not what I wanted. Let's stop all tests. I even multiple running tests. That doesn't make any sense at all. That's not what I wanted to do. All right, let's step back into this. Yeah, intersecting segments. Let's go into there. Okay, very good. All right, fine. So this intersecting segment, let's look at this. No, it's the input function value. Input. Okay, so this has an x of 10, basically. It's a little bit of floating point error happening there. And a y of negative 95. So the y equals 5. And its endpoint is negative 95. That seems correct. So I'm overlapping with a segment that is x0 through x20. Y is equal to 0. This thing is x is 10. And y is 5, so that's above it. Y is negative 95. That should be intersecting all the way through that thing. No, I'm not using the DDA algorithm. I am doing weird things. My Raycaster is different than anyone else's as far as I can tell. In fact, I had other people telling me that I wasn't even writing a Raycaster. Digital differential analyzer, incremental method of scan conversion. No, I'm definitely not doing that. Interpolation of variables for interval. No. Yeah, it's not a tiled world is the problem. That's where mine is different. All of my line segments are completely arbitrary. They can exist anywhere in space. So I can't use any of those faster algorithms. Okay. So I check to see if they're even in the same world at all or not. So this is a bounding box test. And yeah, they are in the same world. Very good. And then I create a line from that segment. Oh. Well, there you go. Segment.line with a slope of 0. No, wait. No, that's allowed. That's a slope of 0. That's correct. Oh yeah, no. It's optimization this is all supposed to be readable is the idea. Not optimizable, not super fast, not super cool. It's supposed to be readable. It's supposed to be something that someone else could step into and hack on and have fun. Okay, so no, that's correct. The slope of the segment that I'm trying to intersect with, that's fine. That should be 0. I don't tend to do one-on-one training, but since you all are hanging out with me right now, I will share with you something real quick. I have a lot of people that ask about one-on-one training, and it's not something that I offer. So I have decided to try offering my first online seminar, and the idea is that it's going to try to be accessible and affordable for most people. So it's an hour and a half long. The early bird price is $99, and there's a link to it. It's going to be coming up in early March, so check that out if you're interested in that. This is the first I've announced it publicly at all. I just set this up last night. Okay. I've got my input line. Let's look at the input line. All right, the slope is negative a lot. Wait. That's a very... No, wait, that's correct. That's a slope that is effectively, quote, approaching infinity. That was the goal on that. All right, we have to step into here. So the intercept should be approximately x of 10, y of 0. So x is 10 on this intercept calculation, and y is 5. Yes, I also do code reviews. I prefer to do paid code reviews, of course. If you have a small open source project, then I try to just kind of help out where I can and give quick code reviews on that, but that's very much not guaranteed. So this first class that I'm offering this first seminar is on tooling specifically. I think it's one of the most important topics that I teach. So I wanted to do a class on that. Okay, so why is the y-intercept 5? That doesn't make any sense. I have something at x of 10, y of 5, and it's pointed straight down. And then I've got something of x of 0, y of 0, and it's pointed straight right. The y should not be... The y-intercept should not be... Should not be 5. It should be 0. That would explain why it's failing, because an x and y of 10 and 5 falls out of the bounding box of our line that goes from x0, y0 to x20, y0. That's 0 plus 0 times, okay, that's fine, that's 5. I clearly am doing something wrong here. The rest of it works. So what is failing here? I'm gonna try something. Just gonna swap these lines if the slope of one of them is 0. If the slope of both is 0, then I never would have jumped into this. Let's just see what happens. If you want to do paid code reviews, then you should just DM me on Twitter or email me, or on my website there is an about page that you can contact me with a contact form from there. And Python is a good educational experience for all of us to be playing with other programming languages. All right. Wait, what? Oh, no, wait, I did that backward. This is definitely a hack. I just want to know if it changes the math. Yeah, I don't know. Am I overflowing somewhere? I don't know either. Okay, so the x-intercept is still 10. That's what it should be. But I've swapped the lines just for the fun of it. A slope of 0 really shouldn't be a problem, right? I should be able to solve these equations in either order. It's just point slope format. It's y equals mx plus b. Basically. Yeah, the slope value of L1 though, no, that slope value, well, at the moment, L1, that's correct because the slope is 0. It is a horizontal line. And the slope of the very negative slope is also correct because it's a vertical line, but there's no way to represent that with regular like point slope kind of things. Where's the continue button? The test passed. Test passed. I want to run all the tests in my geometry test right now. They all pass. Okay. I want to run the full raycasting program. Well, I mean, I solved the bug. I solved the bug by swapping because y. If L2's slope is 0, it really shouldn't have changed the math. I'm confused. Maybe use absolute value on line 123. Absolute value of what? Absolute value of x? No, I definitely don't want that because I want the correct x. The difference of the slopes. You're saying here? But x was being calculated correctly. It was when I got down to this. It was when the L1 origin was my problem. I don't understand. Oh yeah, and just for the record, I'm not a good Python programmer. I barely know what I'm doing. Yes, JT and I did a stream on Rust together. That was a good one. So confused. Let's intersect array test. So in that case, yeah, x is 10. That's correct. But then y ends up being equal to 5 because x is 0. No, wait, what? No, that's, oh no. Okay, that's weird. So x is 10. Yeah, that's what we expect. And the origin, I'm definitely doing something wrong. The origin of line 1 is 10. Oh. Yeah, no. It's 0. Fine. What am I doing wrong? What is this comment? Swapping the lines makes me wonder if dividing by a negative number would have been unintentional. Yeah, but the fact that x still comes out correctly as 10, regardless, means that that's not my problem. My problem has to be right here in the y. Like y, like I'm trying to solve the other line. Is this just wrong? I mean, should I use line 2 for these formulas regardless? But why would it only crop up in this one weirdly specific case? Ten and 0. That's correct. And I didn't have to swap the lines. Oh yeah, I definitely broke that. Oh goodness gracious. Kind of fun though, right? Look at the trippy world that we live in now. All the walls are just changing as I get close to them. It's kind of awesome, actually. This would be, like the impossible maze. I like it. So no, like I was correct in theory to be plugging it back into the other line formula. That was not wrong. Oh, is it just that I have to know which line ultimately to solve for? I feel like I'm going nuts. I'm going back to beginning geometry. No, I mean, like, let's just go back to algebra. Equation for a line. Fine. Yes, math is fun. Equation for a line. Y value when x is 0. Slope times, yeah, no, that's not the version of this line formula that I'm using at the moment. Oh, apparently it's y equals mx plus c in the UK. Okay, so this is the one that I'm attempting to use. Y equals, okay, so the slope of the line is defined by that, right? Point of origin and a distant point. Come on. Slope times x so x is any point on the line. Right. X is any point on the line, and x1 is a point, yeah, another point that I know it passes through. X minus x1 plus y1. Yes, that is exactly what I'm attempting to do. And I know the x-intercept is working. I'm so confused. So the quote fix that I did that actually did work, I took if the slope of L2 is 0, then I just want to use it. I wonder if it's more like if the slope of L1, what is the slope of L1 again? Oh, it's like negative 80 million or something. Which is the slope of the distant point, basically. All right, are you sure that my lines are in the right order? Apparently, I don't know if my lines are in the right order. Well, I don't see how it should matter what order I pass them into the function. Because, I mean, the intersection between two lines is not going to differ depending on which line you're actually testing against, right? All right, to answer your questions, we're all going to step through this again. So I know the x-intercept is 10. That's correct. And if I step over this code, I get an x-intercept of 10. And then the big number doesn't come into play at all, or the very, yes, it's a very negative big number, because this x-intercept is 10, and the origin is 10. So that goes to 0, and it does become a y of 5, but that's not correct. The y-intercept should be 0, which is where I feel like I am losing my mind. Now, float versus int doesn't matter so much on Python land. If they don't intersect at all, then this code doesn't get called. That's higher up in the call stack here. Right here. If the slopes are not equal is the only case where we attempt to do this connection, this check. But I mean, it's correct that the origin of L1 y is equal to 5, but then it's pointed straight down. The slope doesn't matter because the x-intercept, it's like if the x-intercept is the origin of L1, then this just goes to crap. But it shouldn't care. It can define a line as any point in any slope. This is ridiculous. How long have I been doing this? How long have we been on the air? 1 hour. I have a fix. I don't understand it. It's very annoying. I actually had a more complicated version of this that worked all the time, where I fully solved. Oh, I wonder if that's the difference. In the previous version, I had fully solved for x and fully solved for y, but that made the actual calculation for y much more complicated. But perhaps it was less dependent on the order of evaluation of these things. Wait a minute. I'm going to test something. We determined that this version works. But we might be missing something because this only works. Huh. What I'm looking at right now is whether or not the bug crops up when I'm looking straight down, but at a wall that's not at a 90-degree angle to me. because then this slope equals 0 problem I need to like debug print what my current slope is, so I even, or what my current angle is. It definitely feels like a not good fix. Which one was line 1? The one with the very large slope. Maybe. Sorry, I'll have to jump back into that in just a second. Let me update my debug print. Excuse me. I want to know the camera direction. So we've experienced this bug. Yes, in that direction. There, look, there it is. Right, it's still there. That wall is at a 45-degree angle. I need to add another test. Oh, and I just got like stuck in the wall or something too. I can't move forward or backward. Ah. Yes, we'll get back to that intersection code in just a second. I'm gonna add another test, and then I'm probably gonna get off in about 30 minutes. So test intersect array. This one is appropriately okay. So I want in this case x to be like -10, y of -10, or no, let's see. X of -10, y of 10. Yeah, that works. Okay. Yeah. And then x of 20, y of -20. Yeah. So that should be a diagonal that also is straight in front of me. This one should fail. It succeeded. Why did it succeed? What did I do wrong? I was able to reproduce it in the game world, right? Right. It's very annoying. So you're suggesting vertical line is that you have, yeah, but that's like how line intersections work. I didn't make it up. Oh, at the vertical line. But yeah, still. I don't know. Now I want to know why I can't reproduce it. All right, which one is line 1? The one with the very large slope? That is the question. Okay. That is the question of the hour. All right. I just removed my breakpoint. No, I did not. Okay. What just happened? All right, sorry. So perpendicular is the one that we were looking at. Okay. So which one has the very large slope? That was your question. And it is L2. Wait, what? Oh, no, I've already performed the swap in that case. Line 1 was the one with the very large slope. And then I did the slope, did the swap. Okay, so sure. Just see what happens. Okay. Yeah, we'll play with the idea of if the slope is very big, then that's the problem. Yeah. We'll play with that. If that, is a solution for it, then I will commit this and I will get off. So that one is not exhibiting it. And I'm no longer seeing it right here, although we never made a successful test for that, so I still find that a little bit troublesome. But okay, so if the slope is very big, then swap sees the things around because we are dealing in weird math land. Because I insist on doing algebra instead of point slope, or instead of dot product kind of things, which I'm probably going to end up regretting not using linear algebra at some point, but this all geometry, everything feels correct. As you can see, for those of you who asked, like if I'm using DDA optimization and stuff, no, like I said, I'm doing totally free form wall layout that just isn't possible with any of the other optimizations that I'm aware of. All right, I guess we're going to call that quote a success, although I am going to spend more time later adding just a crap ton of tests here. I'm going to do that off the air, I think, because I'm getting kind of tired, honestly. But let's make sure that all of these tests still pass. They do. I'm going to need to add more camera intersection tests. I need to format all the files in here. Let's do a quick format. Oops, wrong button. Oh no, wait, let's do, yeah, no, let's do that. All right. All right. Well, thanks a lot. Yeah, 30 of you for hanging out. And if anyone wants to join me in that tools seminar I'm offering next month, feel free to check out the link that I already posted. Vertical line is not a function, so you can't find why. That might be a fair way to look at it. All right. Yeah, that's actually probably a pretty fair way of looking at it, which is why I then have to swap things around. Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks everyone for joining. If anyone else has any comments, be sure to post them on the GitHub links that you can see here. Otherwise, I will see you all when I stream again later.